Hello students, welcome back to my channel. In this class we will study it will be a continuation of our previous class in which we have studied the residential status of an individual, and we have studied residential status of firm and a company. Okay, now we have to study residential status of other person. Any other assessee will be treated as resident in India if the control and management of its affairs is situated wholly or partly in India. That is, if his control is totally from India, then it is considered as a resident in India. And it will be non-resident if control and management of affairs of the assessee are situated wholly outside India. Okay, if the control is totally or wholly from outside India, then it will be non-resident. Next, we have to study residential status and incidence of tax. This is again categorized in three: resident, not ordinarily resident, and non-resident. That means if the assessee is resident, then how the incidence of tax will be, and if the assessee is non-ordinarily resident, then how will be the tax incidence, and if the assessee is non-resident, then how will be the incidence of tax on that assessee. Okay, so as we said, for incidence of tax, residential status is important. Along with this, it is also important to know the kinds of income. Income can be divided into four categories, like income received, income deemed to be received in India, income which accrues or arise in India, income deemed to accrue or arise in India. So first is income received. Income received means income received in India during the previous year is taxable in the hands of all type of assessee irrespective of their residential status. That means if the assessee receives income from any company or from any organization in the previous year, it will be taxable irrespective of his residential status. That means, as we know, residential status are of three, that is resident, not ordinarily resident, and non-resident. So if income is received in India, then it will be taxable in all these categories. Next is income deemed to be received in India. That means income which are not actually received by the assessee during the previous year, but the act consider that as receipt of income are called income deemed to be received in India. That means if suppose he has not received that money in the previous year, but as per act to be considered as if he has received and will be taxed. Okay. Now next is income which accrues or arise in India. Income is said to accrue or arise to an assessee only when he obtain a right to receive it. That means if he has the right to receive that income, then it will be considered as his income and will be taxed. So it means no amount can be said to accrue unless it is actually due. So when it is due, then only we can say that the money is accrued. Okay. Next is income deemed to accrue or arise in India. For this, there are some incomes which will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India, like a dividend paid by Indian company outside India. Then income by way of interest payable by the government. Next is income by way of royalty payable by the government. Income by way of fees for technical service payable by the government. Salary payable by the government to an Indian citizen for services rendered outside India. Okay. Then next is any income under the head salary if it is payable for service rendered in India. So these are the some incomes which will be considered as deemed to accrue or arise in India. Okay. So on the basis of these things, that is kinds of income, incidence of tax, and residential status of an assessee, we can come to know that we can calculate the total taxable of the assessee. The assessee, as we know, assessee can be individual, firm, company, AOP, or any other statutory body. Now you can see on your screen a chart which shows the relationship between residential status and incidence of tax. Okay, so first it shows the income, types of income, and there are three other columns which shows resident, not ordinarily resident, and non-resident. And yes, it indicates that it is taxable. If it is no, it means the assessee is not taxed. Okay. As the chart shows, income received in India is taxable in resident case, not ordinary resident, and non-resident. That means it is taxable in all categories. Next is income deemed to be received in India is also taxable in all three categories. Next is income accruing or arising in India is also taxable in all three categories. Next is income deemed to accrue or arise in India is also taxable under all three categories. Okay. Next is income received or accrued outside India from a business controlled in or profession set up in India. In such case, it will be taxable in resident and not ordinarily resident assessee. It is not taxable for non-residents. Okay. Next is income received or accrued outside India from a business controlled from outside or profession set up outside India. In such case, it will be taxable only in resident. For not ordinarily resident and non-resident, it is not taxable. Next is income received or accrued outside India from any other source. It will be again taxable to resident only. Not ordinarily resident and non-resident are not taxed. Next is income received or accrued outside India brought to India in the previous year. Such amount is not taxable to all three categories. Okay. So students, you have to study this table, and students, exam point of view, it is very important topic. You can expect 2 to 3 questions from this topic or this chapter. So you have to thorough with this topic, especially this incidence of tax, residential status of an assessee. Okay. Okay, next topic is tax evasion. What is tax evasion? Let us see what is tax evasion. A person withholds the information relating to his real income. That means he holds information regarding his real income or make false claims and reduce his tax liability. Means in order to reduce his tax liability, he is making false claims and he is withholding his real income. It is known as tax evasion, and tax evasion is illegal and antisocial. Okay. Next is tax avoidance. Tax avoidance is the art of evading tax without actually breaking law. It is an attempt to reduce tax by legal means. That means somehow with applying some rules or following some schemes, what he is doing, he is just avoiding, he is reducing his tax liability. He is not hiding anything, he is not making any false claims, he is just going according to rules. He is following the rules, and with the help of that rules, he is just reducing his or avoiding his tax liability. So it is legal. Okay. So this is the basic concept of basic terms we should know before we go through or we learn more about income tax. Okay. So if you have any doubt regarding this topic or this class what we have learned today, please let me know in comment box. Also please like my videos.